TGIF, North Central Washington. It's Friday, May 17th. Welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Grant Olson is away tonight. I'm Jefferson Robbins. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. Brush fire makes for a dramatic afternoon commute as smoke and flames erupt from the right-of-way to the George Sellar Bridge on-ramp. And Chelan County Mountain Rescue is called on once again to help a climber in distress on the rock faces near Leavenworth. 10 to 15 mile-an-hour gusts were the only real blight on an otherwise ideal spring day in the Wenatchee Valley, and you can expect the same or stronger wind conditions going into Saturday. Dan Kuntz will have your weekend weather forecast coming up later in this half hour. First, our top story tonight. One man is dead and another badly wounded after gunfire broke out early this morning on Stayman Flats Road. Chelan County Sheriff's deputies were summoned to the 2200 block of the rural road near Chelan just before 5 a.m. When they got there, they found two men with gunshot wounds. One man, age 49, was declared dead at the scene, while the other, age 40, was flown to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle in critical condition. Police have not identified either person. Detective Sergeant Brian Lewis told NCWLIFE the deceased man had received a single gunshot wound, while the surviving patient was shot multiple times. Lewis would not comment on whether firearms or ammunition were recovered from the incident or what might have led to the shooting. Stayman Flats Road was closed for several hours during the investigation. The Wenatchee Valley Fire Department was called out about 12:30 this afternoon for a brush fire burning around the east side on-ramp to the George Sellar Bridge. Heavy smoke from the fire, as well as the emergency response, slowed traffic in the area for a few hours. Fire Chief Brian Brett told NCWLIFE the cause is not yet known, but there is a history of fires being intentionally set in that area. This afternoon, the agency was also called to a two-alarm brush fire burning near Highway 28 in the Spanish Castle area. That wind-driven fire was initially reported at 3 acres and growing about 1:30 p.m. It took about an hour for it to go back to one alarm. Yesterday, Douglas County officials shut down Union Hill Cider Co. The tasting room just outside East Wenatchee was notified that its premises were officially deemed unsafe for occupancy due to multiple violations of county code, including failure to have a commercial business permit, having a structure not authorized for occupancy, and multiple fire code deficiencies. County officials said the company had been operating under a temporary permit to allow a maximum of 50 people on the property, but that limit was continuously exceeded. The tasting room experienced similar circumstances in October when a keg and barrel event was shut down by the Wenatchee Valley Fire Marshal. The owners of Union Hill said they will do all they can to open again soon. Well, an engineer who was a driving force to build the West Kashmir Bridge has died. Paula Cox worked as assistant county engineer for Chelan County until her death recently from cancer. Her work on that crucial bridge and other projects led her and Assistant Public Works Director Josh Patrick to be recognized as State Project Managers of the Year in 2023 by the Washington County Road Administration Board. Chelan County Board Chair Kevin Overbay paid tribute to Cox in a commissioner's meeting with her former boss, Public Works Director Eric Pearson, earlier this week.
Paula was a part of the Chelan County family for 25 years. She started working at Chelan County Public Works in 1998 as a project engineer. In 2008, she was promoted to assistant county engineer. In that role, she led the office's engineering staff, working on planning and engineering side of our road projects. She was the county's expert in bridge engineering and inspections. In her time at Public Works, she also secured millions of dollars in grant funding for the county road projects. Most recently, Paula was named co-recipient of the 2023 Project Manager of the Year Award by Washington State County Road Administration Board for her work on the West Kashmir Bridge replacement project, the most intensive road project to date for Chelan County Public Works. In the office, Paula was known for her thoroughness, her creativity, and her dependability. Over the years, Paula has played a vital role in the success of our Public Works Department. She will be missed, not only by her coworkers and friends, but also by many of us in the Commissioner's office. Today, we recognize the contributions Paula made to this county and its citizens for the last 25 years.
When we come back, the Leavenworth National Fish Hatchery can expect a $2 million investment to rehabilitate its water intake pipeline on Icicle Creek. And the Washington Supreme Court votes to uphold tribal treaty rights and undo an injustice that dates back exactly 100 years. I'm Jefferson Robbins, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
At Kennedy Group, we understand that buying and selling is more than a transaction, and it's more than just a house. This is where you will gather with friends and family, and where a lifetime of memories will be made. But buying a home is more than memories. Oftentimes, it's your biggest financial decision. The agents at Kennedy Group understand this and provide real estate advice based on your goals and dreams. Call us today, and let's find your happy place.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Shoot, I think I left my keys in the kitchen. Can you grab them?
Yep.
Find out?
What's this?
It's a locking bag. It keeps Grandma's medication safe.
But I could just take it.
Well, for one thing, it locks. And if it were gone, I know there's a problem.
Huh. Well played.
Help prevent opioid misuse before it starts. Visit getthefactsrx.com.
The Lake Chelan Rotary Club invites you to experience Cycle Chelan, held each year on the third Saturday in June. Pick your thrill from 3 rides: the Metric Century Challenge, Cycle Divino, or the Lake Loop. All profits from Cycle Chelan are used to support student scholarships and other charitable activities of the Lake Chelan Rotary Club. Cycle Chelan, a route for every rider. Pick your thrill today.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Hikers and climbers have returned to the mountains around Leavenworth, which means the start of the busy season for Chelan County Mountain Rescue. On Sunday, the nonprofit backcountry team got a 1:30 p.m. call to assist a climber with an ankle injury on Icicle Buttress, a popular climbing feature off Icicle Road southwest of Leavenworth. A team of 3 rescue climbers reached the injured person within 2 hours, stabilized their injured ankle, and helped them to the base of the climbing route. The patient was then able to drive for medical treatment. They're expected to make a full recovery. The Leavenworth National Fish Hatchery can expect a $2 million investment to rehabilitate its water intake pipeline on Icicle Creek. The hatchery, which spawns more than 1 million protected Chinook salmon a year, diverts about 18,000 gallons of water from the Icicle each minute to do so. The water intake is nearly 80 years old and out of compliance with current fisheries regulations. This week, U.S. Interior Secretary Deb Haaland announced funding for 57 aging federal water systems across the country, including the hatchery. Managers plan to install new headworks at the Icicle Creek intake, as well as new fish screens, new fish passageways, and a new pipeline to carry water to the hatchery. Now, the Washington Supreme Court yesterday recognized the Yakama Nation's treaty rights to hunt on its ancestral land by vacating a 100-year-old criminal conviction. In 1924, Yakama citizen Jim Wallahy was convicted of illegal hunting for killing a deer on land ceded by the tribes in Kittitas County. The state Supreme Court upheld his conviction 3 years later, but last year, lawyers for Wallahy's descendants asked the justices to revisit that opinion in light of the 1855 treaty that guaranteed fishing, hunting, gathering, and grazing rights to the Yakamas. The state of Washington agreed last year that the Wallahy case infringed on those rights, and on Thursday, the Supreme Court invalidated the conviction. Jim Wallahy died in 1939. Well, Music Theater of Wenatchee, the long-running volunteer performing arts ensemble, gave out $18,000 in scholarship funds on Thursday to 12 local high school seniors. The scholarships were given out in amounts of either $1,000 or $2,000. 2 students received scholarships from Music Theater's Marilyn Everhart Fund for music. The remaining students received scholarships from the Joan Fadden Scholarship Fund for theater arts. The money for the scholarships was raised through contributions to Music Theater's Riverside Playhouse productions. Now, coming up next, American Sign Language students at Wenatchee High School are just 1 week away from their Sign Idol performance event. Students explain how interpreting songs through ASL brings them satisfaction. There's cooler weather for tomorrow and still more wind to watch out for. Dan Kuntz will have all the details coming up in your local weather forecast, followed by sports with Eric Granstrom. Please stay with us.
Ruggability. We straight made that word up. How else to describe the otherwise indescribable rugged, capable, incredible versatility and affordability of a Honda SUV? Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com calls Honda the best value brand. EPA says Honda is the most fuel-efficient automaker in America. But we like ruggability, and you'll like the Incredifantabulous deals, so see your Inland Northwest Honda dealer today. Honda can handle it.
The Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce presents Wonders of Wooden Avenue.
Culinary Apple is North Central Washington's premier kitchen store with everything you need to elevate your own culinary experience.
For the most unique wine tasting experience in the Chelan Valley, visit One Wines. Popular for being the smallest and most intimate facility in the valley, it features one red, one white, and one rosé. Complex wines, simple elegance.
Wonders of Wooden Avenue, North Central Washington's premier shopping district.
In Digital Media Arts program, we learn about video production gear and editing by the combination of class projects and nonprofit work and employment.
It makes things happen.
Yeah.
It's pretty magical.
We work in the industry at the Wenatchee Road, NCWLIFE channel, and the Town Toyota Center events. Every day we work with industry standard equipment for a hands-on learning experience.
Mount Stewart Physical Therapy is all new. New staff, new therapists, and a fabulous new chiropractor. That's right, you do not need to drive to Wenatchee or Kashmir for your care. Come see Dr. Zolman, DC. No referral needed for most insurances. Open your auto and work injury claims with us, or fax your post-op and Medicare therapy prescriptions to us right here in town. We offer covered pelvic floor services. We are premium health care for the Upper Valley. Improve your quality of life today. Mount Stewart Integrative Therapy and Chiropractic.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. ASL students at Wenatchee High School are ready to put on a show. Next Friday, May 24th, the students will perform songs completely in sign language during a special event called Sign Idol. ASL teacher Danielle Meadows, an Eastmont grad, was inspired by the Eastmont show and decided to bring something similar to WHS last year. The tickets are on sale at $10 for students and $12 for adults, can be purchased at the door or on the Wenatchee High School website. NCWLIFE caught up with Meadows and a few of her students to learn more about what it takes to make Sign Idol happen.
The goal of this show is to sort of help bridge the gap between the hearing and deaf communities through music. So it's a show for everybody. Everybody can enjoy it, all ages. But basically what it is, I describe it as sort of like American Idol without judges in sign language. So students have been working with on the show since January. And they have interpreted music into sign language, which is not their native language. And then we add lights and costumes and makeup and dancing, and it all comes together for kind of a unique show at the end of May.
I saw it last year and I was like, oh my gosh, I regret doing track now and I'm a performer at heart. Like, I just love being on stage. I don't care what I'm doing. And like being able to sign is like, with the music in the background, you get to give a show to two different worlds. It's very nice.
Last year, I did want to do it, but I was too nervous to because I used to have a really big stage fright problem. And so, but then this year I was like, I wanted to be more outgoing and I wanted to change basically. And I thought that this could be a really good opportunity because I did want to do it last year, but I was just too scared. And so then I was like, this year I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm gonna go out of my comfort zone and be more like how I want to.
It's just such a inclusive show. There's something in there for everyone. There's songs that kids will love and there's songs that older people will love. There's something in that show for everyone, and you get to experience a whole new side of entertainment, a whole new realm of what is possible, and it's all in all just a really good place to be.
What a lot of people don't realize is that song interpretation in sign language is not word for word interpretation. It's a lot more concepts and meaning. So students have to take their song and really look at like, when was it written? What was it written about? What is the meaning behind this song? Is it a love song? Is it a sad song? And then they have to translate it, not using word for word, but meaning, concepts, and then add that emotion, add the musicality into it. So a lot of it comes down to, we're bringing the song to life, so deaf people can't hear the music. So are we playing drums in the background? Are we playing piano? What's the beat look like? And so that is all portrayed with our bodies and with our hands, and also in our face as well. These kids, the goal is that we grow them, and then they go off and they do something with ASL, and then they come back. And so being able to better our community in general. But yeah, I mean, I've had students come in to ASL Club that aren't in ASL and they just want to learn. I've had emails from students that want to come and watch sign songs and get a feel for it. So it's definitely growing in the Valley. It's growing slowly, but it's a start.
Dan Coons filling in for Grant Olson, taking some well-deserved time off. Good for you, Grant. He'll be back next week. Here's our shot we're going to start our weather forecast with. It is our what we call the Arundel Rock camera. There's nothing really called Arundel Rock, but you got to call these PTZ cameras something. Turtle Rock right in the middle of your screen, and still some snow up Mission Ridge way. And wind, boy, we did it again today. We had gusts at 40 miles an hour. Yesterday at Pangborn, we're going to be at 40 miles an hour before this day is over. They had gusts above 50 in Moses Lake. Normally, the lee of the Cascades protects us a little bit from the rain, but it has the opposite effect with the wind. It kind of channels through those canyons and hollers and actually picks up in intensity. And we're going to be dealing with some wind tonight into Saturday, into even Saturday night with some calm pockets in between. Your windy forecast is coming up, but then again, a lot of wind we're dealing with. Your almanac unofficially 66 our high today, so we're below normal for where we should be after that long stretch of well above normal temperatures. Our normal highs 72 and 49, nowhere near the record highs, but I'm liking these long days, 15 hours and 14 minutes of daylight. What we really need is rain, but by the early part of next week, that's a possibility. Again, right around the corner, we'll get you all that gooey, good stuff. Let's talk about Saturday's highs tomorrow. Everybody's going to be right about in the same neighborhood as they were today and yesterday, for that matter. 67 in Moses Lake, 66 and 67 in Ephrata. Ellensburg, the cool spot at 62. The wind's going to keep them a little on the cool side. Lake Wenatchee, 61 degrees. They had some light rain up at Lake Wenatchee very early this morning. Omak usually leads the warmth parade tomorrow, no exception. They'll top off at 68 degrees. All those temperatures that you see below normal. Not well below normal, but certainly cooler than we're used to this time of the year. And what's causing all this? A big ridge of high pressure just off your screen. You can't quite see it. It's doing what high pressure does. Spinning around clockwise. It's grabbing all that stuff and whoop, pressure gradients tightening up, and we're dealing with a lot of wind. Sunshine has been nice, but folks are tired of the wind, and we're going to have windy conditions pretty much the rest of the day today into Saturday. Little kind of a strange thing is going to happen on Saturday. The wind's going to calm down a little bit on Saturday afternoon, and then they're going to pick up in intensity on Saturday night. Normally, that doesn't happen. But if you're going to head out, like, say, to the races on Saturday night, be ready for some wind. Sunday, we finally calm down. Just a nice light breeze, about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Still cool temperatures. It is a cold front that's coming in. And you'll also notice the relative humidities are going to be very, very dry, below 30%. So bone dry air, too. Monday, little bit more wind, maybe a couple of clouds here and there, but it looks to be actually about the nicest day of the next work week is Monday, because Tuesday, here comes our next weather maker. We need some rain. We're going to have about a 30 to 40% chance of much needed rain on Tuesday of next week, I should say. Still temperatures hovering a little bit below normal on Tuesday. By the time we get to Wednesday, temperatures staying in the mid-60s. Again, we're normally 72, 73 for our afternoon high, and we do have a good chance of rain on Wednesday as well. We'll know a little bit more about how much rain by the time we get to, say, Monday and Tuesday of next week. But we need the rain. Then we dry out a little bit on Thursday, warm up a little bit with a high of about 70. All in all, as we're starting to transition into late May, we usually start seeing a little bit more sunshine and warmer temperatures. We're actually going in the opposite direction. The deeper into May we go, we're having some cooler than normal temperatures. And boy, we need the rain. Hopefully, it'll come and we can 86 this wind altogether. So windy today, about 66. Watch out for those rogue gusts. We could see gusts about 45 miles an hour before this day is over. We have a wind advisory that expires tonight. 44 for the overnight low, still windy tonight. On Saturday, wind in the morning, calm in the afternoon, and then more wind on Saturday night with a high of 64. That's pretty much below normal, 43 for the overnight low. We're done with the wind for the most part on Sunday. We're going to call it breezy. Sunday looks good, high of 68. Monday looks even better with a high of 73. And then that weather maker we showed you is going to coming in on Monday night into Tuesday. It's going to cool us down and give us a chance of a little bit of light rain, which is just what the doctor ordered. At your forecast, still to come, the guy who caught every trout available in Rufus Woods Lake yesterday. Our good friend Eric Granstrom with sports. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
I think we already have the legendary pizza, really, and I hope it just continues.
We have a free pizza slip. We get free pizzas, and if something happened to Abby's, we wouldn't have free pizza anymore. Think about that, huh?
No.
Yeah.
Every day is Taco Tuesday at Abby's. Our Taco Especial is on sale 7 days a week, loaded with beef or chicken, onions, olives, tomatoes, cheddar cheese, and lettuce. It's a pizza that you won't forget. Dine in or order online for takeout or delivery right to your door.
Happy finally Friday. The Mariners begin a weekend series in Baltimore this afternoon that starts 10 road games in 10 days. Seattle sits in first place in the American League West at 24-20, while the Orioles are second in the East behind the Yankees at 27-14. M's are sending Bryce Miller to the mound, who's 3-3 with a 2.66 ERA. The O's counter with John Means, who's 1-0 with a 3.09 earned run average. That game underway on Root Sports Northwest. Seattle's lead over Texas remains a game and a half. Look out now. Here come the Astros. Houston has won 5 straight after an 8-1 win over Oakland. The streak has allowed the Astros to vault into third place in the division, 5 games behind Seattle. The A's now 6 games back. Los Angeles remains 8 games out of first place. 3 teams for North Central Washington are in the State 1A soccer tournament today. After an incredible season, Cascade is close to home in the Apple Bowl, facing Clahoya. That game's underway. If the Kodiaks win, they'll face the winner of Highland and Bush tomorrow in the Apple Bowl at noon. Quincy and Kashmir are traveling to Vashon Island for games today. The Jackrabbits take on Toppenish. Kashmir faces the host Vashon Island Pirates tonight at 7. The winners of today's game will face off in the quarterfinals tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Elmira Cooley Heartline has at least 2 games over the next couple of days in the District 6, 7, and 8 softball tournament. That's happening in Spokane. Warriors are facing Colton today in the first round. Win or lose, ACH will play either Northport or Liberty Christian tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. Today is the first day, or make that the final day, of the District 6 2B softball tournament. Brewster and Lake Roosevelt are playing for a last chance to go to state. That game underway in Cooley Dam. District 6 4A softball tournament moves to Moses Lake's Larson Playfield tomorrow with 2 games at 11 o'clock. Mavericks take on West Valley for the championship, while Eastmont and Wenatchee meet in a loser-out game. Loser between Moses Lake and the Rams will face the winner of the Wildcats and Panthers at 1 o'clock for a last chance to get to the state tournament. Tomorrow is also the final day of the District 5-6 2A tournament. Ifreda plays at East Valley for a last chance at state. That'll start at 11 a.m. Wenatchee Valley College is the site for the District 6 1A tournament tomorrow. Kashmir and Quincy face off at 11. Omak plays Chelan at 1 o'clock. The winners of the first 2 games play for the district championship at 3 o'clock, with the winner advancing to state. Loser's season is done. Chelan and Kashmir are on the west side tomorrow for the State 1A baseball tournament. Chelan faces Cedar Park Christian at Joe Martin Field in Bellingham. That'll be at 10 a.m. Kashmir is in Bellevue to face Overlake, also at 10 o'clock. Ellensburg also travels west to face Linden in the State 2A tournament. That'll be in Tacoma at 10 a.m. Wenatchee's Recreation Park is the site for the quarterfinals of the State 1B tournament, as Elmira Cooley Heartline plays Northport at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Win and the Warriors advance to the Final Four in Ifreda next week against the winner between Orcas Island and Nacelle. Well, after getting rained out a couple of weekends ago, Wenatchee Valley Super Oval is back and ready for some racing this weekend. It's Military Appreciation Night with 5 classes of racing on tap. Included will be the Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning Thunder Cars, Rockstar Energy B-Mods, Plum Perfect Roadrunners, Canutes and General Contracting Bandoleros, and the B&T Towing Roadrunners. Gates open at 4:30. Racing starts at 6. Go to WVSO.com for more information and for tickets. Well, while Major League Baseball season is underway, the West Coast collegiate season is still still a couple of weeks away. One coach is getting off to a running start, literally. Ed Naggs, who is the associate head coach for the Corvallis Knights and the former head coach of the Wenatchee Apple Sox, is running from Wenatchee to Corvallis to kick off the season and raise awareness for mental health. Naggs hit the halfway point of his 419-mile journey earlier this week. He joined Dan on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley this morning and said he's thankful for his brother's connections to help provide some overnight pit stops.
Well, we had it very organized as far as where we'd be and where we'd finish and what was close. And Crew Chief Steve, my brother, who's actually holding the camera right now, former firefighter, we have stayed mostly at firehouses along the way. And stopped at one last night in Lyle. They really didn't have the parking for us, and so they said, "Hey, this rest stop's really nice," and they were correct there. So we've been kind of working ahead with a lot of the, and a lot of them are volunteer fire departments, you know, that have maybe a guy or two working, but all volunteer after that, and they've been just phenomenal, just letting us park there, use their water, maybe, hey, come in and shower if you want. So the firefighting community has been huge along the way.
Ed runs 10 miles each morning and 5 miles each afternoon. He's made some interesting discoveries along the way, including an abandoned boat, a much-needed cutting board for their motorhome, and a friendly horse yesterday.
There was a farm there with a gate, but there was this horse standing at the gate. Gate was wide open. And we pulled up, and then the horse started walking towards us a little bit. We thought that was odd. So I was turning, trying to get a picture, and then I thought, because I'm going to go outside, it's going to just take off. But I did buy carrots yesterday, just for salad purposes. But I think I knew I needed them. So I grabbed some carrots, went out with my camera, and sure enough, the horse came right up, ate carrots. I said, wow, we got to get a real video. So we went and staged it all, and the horse stayed there. I went out, Brother Steve videoed it, and the horse kind of looked like the old Mr. Ed horse, so it all fit in pretty good, and he ate from my hand again. I got to pet him, and he stayed there, and off we went, but it was an interesting encounter.
The point of the opening day run is to raise money and awareness for two organizations that help prevent teen suicide, Trillium Family Services and Only 7 Seconds. Naggs says the impact of what he's doing is really being felt.
The support for this whole run from the start with the Apple Sox, the Corvallis Knights, the league itself, you know, and Only 7 Seconds and Trillium, everyone's been behind it. And it has been interesting just how it's grown and the people it's touched, the money it's raised. That's been great. I mean, I have pretty high expectations on that end, but the other piece of it, the reach of it, you know, some of it we'll never know, but we'll hear stories, I'm sure, down the road. I've already heard some, you know, where, oh, I reached out to so-and-so and they happened to be at a really bad point that day. And they were, I mean, a lot of those things that we can't really measure and we might not ever know about, but they're definitely happening.
You can follow Ed's journey on the opening day run on social media or his website at openingdayrun.com. That's a look at sports news. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
Hey everybody, Dan Coons, host of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Join me on Monday. We'll check in once again with Ed Naggs on his opening day run. He'll be pretty close to crossing the Columbia River into Oregon by the time we visit on Monday. It'll be great to check in with Ed as he continues to raise money for his great causes. We love Ed. We'll check in with Ed via Zoom on Monday. We'll let you know how all the local prep teams did in their quest for state championships. That all-important weather forecast. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday live and local right here from Studio 26 in downtown Wenatchee.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at NCWLIFE.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we want to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-6295. That's 888-NCWL. I'm Jefferson Robbins. It'll be my privilege to be your anchor again for the first part of next week. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.